Welcome to yet another podcast with Derriff and myself of Depreciation Nation. And if you haven't noticed, we've had a heavy female influence on our channel recently, and the reason for that is that we love them.
Yes.
And so with that heavy influence, we have had some renewed interest from our wives. And as a result of that, they have started making suggestions because they too watch our channel.
Yes.
And so one of the suggestions that was made by my wife was that we can't really find comprehensive discussion about inexpensive used cars for single moms.
I think that's a very important topic.
I do too.
I mean, there are so many single moms and dads, but especially single moms that they need something that's reliable, that's comfortable. They need a car that will not have it's inexpensive to fix.
Correct.
And that's the big key: reliability, comfortability, and inexpensive for the upkeep.
And perhaps inexpensive to purchase because, again, we are Depreciation Nation and that is the theme of what we do.
Yes.
So we've got a few cars we're going to talk about. This all revolves around the fact that mom may not want a minivan. So the very first car that jumps to the top of my list is the 2012 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. The reason that I picked that car is because the motor has been around for a while. They are relatively bulletproof. They appear to be relatively reliable. They still look modern. They have modern conveniences such as leather seating and Bluetooth and navigation and what I would call premium amenities. And that is one of the things that brought Hyundai back to the scene because in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were not thought of in such a positive light.
It's because a lot of them were ugly.
Exactly. And they were unreliable.
Yes.
And so as a result of that, nobody really paid attention to Hyundai, and they came back on the scene with a force that nobody quite anticipated.
Forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they brought inexpensive cars with premium amenities, and so that first car that I mentioned, the 2012 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra, you can buy for between $4,000 and $6,000 depending upon packages and equipment, all with less than 100,000 miles.
Well, that's like
And a $34 oil change.
that's a class. That's an A. That's an A. Another car, maybe a little bit more expensive than the Elantra, but it lasts forever, and it has been known to last forever, is the Toyota Camry.
Of course.
And I will not give
the quintessential mom car.
I will not even give a year because I know for a fact you could find a Camry from the 90s, early 90s, that's still kicking.
And will pass emissions.
And will pass emissions. So it doesn't matter what year the Camry is from, you're gonna get a car that you could easily find aftermarket parts for. You could easily fix, maybe with 550 cord and duct tape.
If you have to fix it.
If you have to fix it, and that's the thing. A Camry will last as long as you do the regular oil changes, regular fluid changes, and put the right gas in it.
Exactly.
And that's it. And your Camry...
And by the right gas, you mean not diesel.
Not diesel. Not diesel. But your Camry will last forever. I've seen Camrys with well over 300,000 miles, and they're still just humming along,
That's an excellent choice.
Yes.
Next on my list, we're going to jump back to Hyundai, but in their Kia form. And I'm going to mention the Kia Optima.
Yeah. That's actually really good.
Again, the same price range, same years, premium amenities in a bigger car. Again, they appear relatively reliable.
They're good on gas.
They are.
Shocked.
They are. And still a $34 oil change. And maintenance and repairs at a minimum with a car that appears to be relatively reliable. Yet again, they haven't been around for 20 years, and if we went back 20 years, it might not look so reliable. But
I drove from Georgia to Western New York in one.
We had one.
And let me tell you,
I don't think you knew that.
No, I did not.
Yeah, we had an Optima. We had a 2012.
I was surprised at its gas mileage. I was surprised at how comfortable it was. There were so many things in this car that surprised me. I looked at my wife and we were like, we could rock one of these. Anybody that pays attention knows that I am the biggest Audi fan. But that Kia Optima it left a mark on me.
It's a solid contender.
Yeah. Well. It's a good car.
I said solid contender, not necessarily with your favorite mark, but it's a solid contender in the current discussion.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what's next? What's next?
Honda Accord.
Of course.
That was my first car. And like the Camry, it doesn't matter the year. I went to New York recently. I saw an Accord flip a place.
Awesome.
So
back from the Prelude days.
Yes. So, I mean, it still works. It's another car. Those early Japanese cars, and since we're just mentioning them, the Accord, the Corolla, Toyota, the Honda Civic, and the Camrys. Those 4 family cars. Doesn't matter the time, the year, the date. They are reliable. They're great for gas. They're easy to fix, and just perfect for any mom.
I could agree.
For any mom, it fits your budget.
And a $34 oil change.
Or less.
Or less.
Yeah.
Maybe not go less.
Yeah.
So,
to me, those are A cars.
I agree.
Those are A cars.
I agree. So, maybe you don't want a car. You definitely don't want a minivan, but SUVs are all the craze these days. And I've got 2 I'm going to talk about. The first of which is the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport.
Yes.
2013 forward. Really, the design is relatively modern.
It is.
Looks rather timeless. Amenities are fair. Can be had in front wheel or all-wheel drive. Can be had with satellite. Can be had with Apple CarPlay. And the thing about the Outlander Sport is they came to the market with really a better version of Apple CarPlay than anybody.
Did not know that part.
Yeah. Literally, you just plug in your phone and it all comes through the dashboard. There's no wireless nonsense. There's no Bluetooth nonsense. It is just very easy to work with. We had one of those as well. Also, very reliable car. $34 oil change. And while they are not in the $6,000 range, you'll pay a little bit more, but you will still get a car that is very reliable. And not to interject, but I'm going to bring in the CRV next.
Okay, go ahead.
So the CRV, again, around the same age, 2013. Again, you're going to pay a little bit more money, but just like the Accord, they run forever.
Yes.
And when we were looking for my son's first car, the CRV was on the map, and we found them with well over 275,000 miles on them. Granted, they had been maintained appropriately, but that's a testament to how reliable they are.
What I'm thinking of 2 myself, 2 crossovers. One's SUV, maybe. The Hyundai Elantra.
We talked about
said
that.
Elantra. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm talking about the Hyundai, the SUV version.
The Tucson?
Tucson.
Yes.
How could I forget
It's
that?
all good. The Tucson is an excellent.
Yeah, I had a friend. She had a 2008. This is a couple years ago, and I had to drive that, and I was like, wow. It was so comfortable. Amenities are great. You didn't feel like you're stepping back in time. Sometimes you go in a car and you're like, you didn't feel that. You were in the car, the SUV, you drove it. It was easy. What I remember about that, maybe from my driving style, were the mirrors. Like, I look left, I look right. Although left is left, but I look left, I look right, and I could see all around me, and it was just cool. And the best part about it, she was a single mom.
That's awesome.
She was a single mom, and I mean, she did great with that car. She had that car probably about 10 years.
That's awesome. So, there are a few cars for you all. We don't want to keep you too long.
Nope.
One of the things that popped into our head in the process of this is to actually take you and show you a few of them.
Yeah.
So the 2012 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra, the 2012 Forward Kia Optima, the Honda Accord, the Toyota Corolla, Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, and all of the other vehicles that we mentioned. And we're actually going to do a little review of them. So if you have seen our We Messed Up series, where we missed the boat on buying cars, or if you have seen our Bargain Classic series, we are going to create something with a more catchy name than Mom series, but that gives you an idea of where we are going with this. And they're not German.
No.
So
No, they're not. They're not American either.
no, they're not American either. But we're going to talk about that next
Next time.
And just remember, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button at the bottom of your screen, because otherwise you'll miss awesome content like this.
Yes.
Comment, like, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.
Join the nation. Bye now.